إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره. نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد. Greet you all with the greeting of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and the blessing of Almighty Allah be with you all. I'd like to welcome you all for continuation of our series, Belief of the Believers by Muhammad S. Adly of Columbia, South Carolina. And this is going to be a segment number 20. And this is Hadith number 7 under this title. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم المسلم من سلم المسلمون من لسانه ويده والمؤمن من أمنه الناس على دمائهم وأموالهم. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, narrated, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, what the meaning is, the Muslim is he from whose tongue and hand the Muslims are safe, and the believer is he who men trust with their lives and their property. Hadith which is reported by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh, that the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, Al-Muslimu, the Muslim, the person who adopt Islam, embrace Islam, we call him Muslim. Man who Salima gives security and safety. Al-Muslimuna, the plural of word Muslim. Min means from, lisanihi, his tongue. The word lisan, tongue, and lisanihi, his tongue. Wa means and, yadi, hand. Yad is hand. Yadi, his hand. Wa means and. Al-Mu'min, the believer, the person who adopts the faith, we call him Mu'min or Al-Mu'min, the believer. Man who, Aminahu, secure and safe, and Nas, mankind, Ala, upon Dima'ihim, their blood, Wa, and Amwalihim, their property. In that hadith, we see that the Prophet ﷺ is giving us a definition of a person who adopts Islam and the person who adopts Iman. Muslim, a person who embraces Islam, But it's not only enough that he said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, but it have to be some impact in your behavior and characteristic to such a degree that you are not harming others, that others, doesn't matter if it's your family, if your neighbors, the society, that the rest of the Muslims population are secure and safe from any disturbance from your tongue or your hand. The either and the disturbance and the harming can be done by tongue, like a slander, lying, cursing, or by hand, by shooting, killing, beating. All these things is harming others. And a true Muslim is going to demonstrate his proper behavior, especially with the Muslims, so that the rest of the community are safe and secure from his tongue as well as his hand. Then the Prophet ﷺ talking about the believer, al-mu'min. So also the mu'min, although that he believe in oneness of Allah, the angels, the day of judgment, the revealed books, the messengers, the day of judgment, but there is another definition and another part of characteristic, which is the amana, the trust, safety, security of the rest of the Ummah and the Muslim community, regardless their blood or their property. That means he is not a person who disturbs them physically, mentally, and not in their blood by wounding them or killing them or taking their property by stealing. So Islam and Iman together, when they come, make you the right citizen in the Muslim Ummah, that you became a person that the rest of the Ummah or the family or the neighborhood are safe and secure from cursing, lying, backbiting, stealing, beating, try to do anything by any means to harm or to disturb. So we learn from this hadith that the Muslims must stay away from anything that might harm other Muslims. And this does not mean that you go and harm non-Muslims. But priority number one comes towards the Muslim community. And if somebody disturb you from non-Muslims, it is your right that eye to eye. Okay? This is your right. If you choose to forgo and forgive, this is also acceptable. But we're talking about especially the Muslim community are safe and secure from any disturbance that it may come from your hand or your tongue. And also this hadith, it shows you how that the tongue can be like a whipping or can be like a gun or worse than a gun. Sometimes they may say a word insulting somebody that it may make him or her disappear or go out of your way, never meet you. Can be a backbiting, can be a slandering, can be saying something that is not true about them. We have to understand that tongue is almost like a handgun. You can kill somebody, but in this you are not killing him physically, you killing him in his manner, in his status, and he may be embarrassed to be in any gathering because the words that you said. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had told us as a sign of being a believer, من سلم المسلمون من لسانه ويده, that the rest of the Muslims are safe and secure from your hand as well as your tongue. So the dangerous of the tongue and what can cause and come out of it. Also, this hadith shows us the truth of Iman appears in dealings with others, believers, with other people. If you have true Iman, we need to demonstrate this Iman in action, not only in talk, not only in lecturing, not only in wearing clothes and growing a beard. We have to live Iman, talk Iman. Islam takes care of the Muslims' lives and protect their property. This is something very important. It's security, because they are Muslims. You do not have any right to attack their property or their honor or their belongings. The importance of Islamic manner in Islam is something very important, because Islam is a relationship between you and Allah. And also Islam is a relationship between you and yourself. And Islam also is a relationship between you and the rest of the Ummah and Muslim community. You have to know how to deal with them and how to demonstrate your belief in words, in actions. So Islam is a relationship between the Muslim and his society. It is also a relationship between a slave, servant of Allah, and his Lord Almighty Allah. Let's try to live Islam in action. Let's try to live Iman in action, in behavior, not only in words or memorizing some surahs. We won't have both. Memorize a surah and live a surah. Memorizing hadith and live hadith. So be like a walking Quran, walking hadith. The people can see your action and your interaction with them, and they will can see Islam without you talking about Islam. Something very important. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even said to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, لو كنت فظا غليظ القلب لانفضوا من حولك. If you, Muhammad, was harsh, hard-hearted, that those Sahaba, they left you alone. But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was easy going with them, soft, patient, kind, advising them, caring for them, preferring them, try to assist them. Let's try to live Islam, and let's try to exchange Iman in our behavior from one to another. And you have to understand that all the property of the Muslim and the Mu'mineen are secret. You shouldn't transgress against them by any means. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us all that we act upon such a hadith and we live Islam, not only talk Islam. We live Iman, not only talk Iman, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is capable to give it to us, inshallah. With this, I'll come to end of this segment, inshallah. In case anybody have correction or want do addition to what I said, I'll be glad to hear from you. Any comments, any correction, feel free to do so. Thank you for being here. Looking forward to see you again tomorrow. Every day we have two segments concerning the belief of the believers, one at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and one is at 6:45 p.m. Please invite others to benefit from these reminders. And this things is recorded in YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. You can find them, and you find more and more on the site. You go to Muhammad S. Adly, ADLY. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك, and Allah knows best.